I had to start and stop this video like 4 times, so moral of the story, save the hard cider for after filming. So I saw The Hobbit last week, and I have words about this movie. None of them are good. Spoiler warning for just bad movie details. I'm gonna do that thing where I set a timer for 4 minutes and just talk till it goes off. I have a lot to say though, so we'll see if I can cram it all in. 4 minutes. Okay, so I've read the book, but I read it in high school and it was for an English class and I don't remember it at all. So I'm not even gonna talk about plot details. All I know is that Toriel was invented for this trilogy and I like Toriel. I just don't like where she went with her character in this movie. For example, losing her and launching herself off a cliff and like almost kamikazing herself with an orc after Keely dies. But whatever. My main concern with this movie was 1, the plot progression and the flow of the story, which, spoiler alert, didn't exist. And 2, the CGI and related topics. So let's go to CGI first because that's where I tend to focus because that's kind of my interest in life is special effects. Everything was CGI when it shouldn't have been. Like things that should have been practical were not. And the CGI was not good enough to warrant that. Like you could tell it was computer animated and not in a good way. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is so impressive and realistic. It was like things were at the wrong frame rate, stuff looked jarring, stuff didn't fit. There was an entire character, Thorin's cousin, Ironfoot or Ironboot, who shows up in the battle near the climax, and he was not a person, he was just computer animated model. There's a scene near the end of the movie where Thorin and his cousin hug on the battlefield because Thorin's finally gotten over his dragon sickness, and they cut immediately to an awkward ass wide shot because Thorin was hugging nobody because that was not a person, that was a dude in a morph suit, and that actor isn't even credited. Like, why didn't they just get an actor to play that dwarf where they had actors playing all of the other dwarfs? I don't understand. But enough about that guy. The physics engine, I've seen better physics in like NES games, I swear to God. The like environment stuff looked really pretty, like it always has. But then you have computer animated people on computer animated environments and it looks like they were made by 2 different teams who didn't ever talk to each other. Because for example, Legolas is fighting an orc on a bridge, the bridge collapses, Legolas needs to jump up the rocks to get up to the bridge, which cheeseball, like bullet time, whatever action flick thing, but whatever. It's not supposed to be truly realistic. As long as it looks believable, it's fine. But this didn't look believable because the rocks were moving at a different rate than Legolas was. So he was hopping up the rocks, he ran out of rocks, and so he just kind of floated up to the top of the bridge so that he would survive the fall. And then immediately following that, he kills the orc drops, and a rock falls on him. The orc falls at one rate, and the rock falls at another rate. Now I know that the rock fell after the orc, but like gravity and Newton's laws of whatever they fall at the same rate. Terminal velocity and all that. The rock and the orc happened at different times. It didn't make any sense. It's hard to explain. If you've seen it, you might know what I'm talking about. That was super jarring and uncomfortable, and that just, oh god, like I know that all the Lord of the Rings franchise movies have that one scene where you're like, the f were they thinking? This movie was all those scenes, just one after another, like the scene when Thorin kind of has his crazy moment in the room that is covered with like the melted gold from the Smaug attack aftermath, and he just kind of melts into the floor. In his head, he's like hallucinating. The entire thing was like a dream sequence and it was so cheesy, it was ridiculous. Speaking of everything looking like a dream sequence, everything looked like a dream sequence. Like even in the cave, there was so much bloom, everything was glowing, everything looked ethereal throughout the entire movie. I ran out of time. So yeah, basically, I hated this movie so much. It was so bad, I had a good time laughing about it, and I almost don't regret having to pay $15 to go see it. Almost. It was terrible. If you haven't seen it yet, and you are considering it, I beg you to reconsider and just wait for it to come out on Netflix or something. Because, oh god, it was so bad. Those are my thoughts. My 4 minutes are up. I have so much more to say, but I should stop now. Okay, peace, love, geekdom, Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa thing. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye. Okay, man, I hated that movie. Click on my face to see more of my face. Click over there for my last video. Click down there for like social media and Redbubble and whatever stuff. Bye.